All right, more on our top story now. We are getting that update from police and community members following an incident of anti-Semitic vandalism at a North York apartment building. We're going to take you live now to Toronto Police 52 Division.
First of all, Michael Mostyn of Brith to continue on.
Thank you very much. And as you heard, Brith represents the grassroots Jewish community all the way across this country since 1875. We're the senior Jewish community organization. And through our League for Human Rights, we work proactively to combat anti-Semitism and racism and bigotry wherever it may occur. And first of all, I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Toronto Police for their diligence in following up on this terrible, terrible anti-Semitic incident. And I'd like to thank all of the politicians that are assembled with us here today, Councillor Fillion, Councillor Pasternak, Mayor Tory, all of City Toronto Council that's showing so much support for the Jewish community. I know MP Michael Levitt sent his regrets that he wasn't able to attend as well from the federal government. It very much is meaningful to the Jewish community to know that we don't stand alone when we are targeted for discrimination in this country. In recent days, we've been asked here at B'nai Brith, why is this happening? Is anti-Semitism getting worse here in this country? Anti-Semitism has been constant in Canada, according to our own audit for anti-Semitic incidents, since at least 2011. Unfortunately, there seems to be a new normal of targeting of the Jewish community. Our audit in 2015, which was the last time that we published the numbers, we had 1,277 incidents that were reported to B'nai Brith's League for Human Rights. In 2013 and 2014, which were the last 2 years that StatsCan numbers were available for targeted racism in Canada, and 2013 being the last fully available numbers, the Jewish community, again, was the most targeted religious group in this country. And actually, at that time in 2013, just to put it in perspective to the second most targeted community, which was the Muslim community, Jews in Canada were 8 times more likely to face a hate crime in this country. Toronto police stats, as recently as 2015, also show the same trend. Jews in the city of Toronto being the most targeted for hate crimes. So this is a problem, and this is a problem that has existed for a period of time. Why? Why are we hearing more about it? Well, certainly there's a lot more reporting about racism generally in society. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because when terrible incidents like this happen, we should know about it so that we can deal with it. The police are going to be dealing with this from the criminal perspective, but we all have to get together and deal with this from a societal perspective and say that no identifiable group of any sort should be targeted for racism or hatred or bigotry in this country, Canada, which is the greatest country in the world. But why is it happening? Where is it coming from? I can tell you from the Jewish community, we have great concerns that our students have been targeted on university campuses all the way across this country for years now. For years. We see most recently at McGill University, there was a student, a representative of the Legislative Council on the Board of Directors of the Student Union at McGill, tweeted out, "Punch a Zionist." And the awful thing about that, first of all, is that so many of the students on campus were rallying around somebody who is tweeting violence towards their fellow students. You would think that this is somebody who should be shunned by the community, somebody who the Legislative Council should say immediately, we don't do things like that. We don't promote violence even if we don't agree with somebody else's viewpoint. But instead we see a rallying around this individual, and that shows that there is something very wrong on our university campuses. At Ryerson University, we've recently seen an orchestrated attempt, again, through the Student Council, led by the president of the Student Council of Ryerson University, to walk out on a motion commemorating the Holocaust. Now, if they were only concerned about Zionism, why would they be orchestrating a walkout about the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews were targeted for extinction? And 6 million died in the Holocaust. The entire Jewish community was targeted for its extinction. But the Holocaust is a worldwide genocide. And it's absolutely disgusting that things like this are happening. We're allowing things like this to happen. Israel Apartheid Week is going to be taking place on university campuses across Canada. And what our audit has shown again and again is that anti-Zionism as the new anti-Semitism, it is having an impact. And what we are seeing is a bleeding of the lines over from university campuses, where students have been facing this sort
All
of
right, Michael
discrimination
Mostyn
for a
from
long
B'nai Brith.
period
Isn't that
into
disturbing to
general
hear
society.
about all of
So
these different incidents? This, of course, based on what happened in the North York condo building the other day, but also the incidents at Ryerson and McGill, and he said university campuses across the country. We'll continue to watch this news conference for you.